line. It is the Women's Collegiate Varsity Invitational. This is their first heat today. It'll be the University of Virginia in lane number 1, Washington State in lane 2, UCLA in lane number 3, and in lane number 4, it'll be Villanova.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Back at the start of the Women's Collegiate Varsity Invitational, the Jessop-Whittier Cup.
Washington State.
All boats have been aligned,
UCLA.
and we are waiting the starter.
Villanova.
Your starter today, Sheila Toll.
Attention! Go!
And there's the start of the first heat of the Jessop-Whittier Cup.
Stop rowing!
Stop rowing. We have a false
Stop
start.
rowing.
We have a problem. We have a hand up at UCLA. All boats are stopped rowing. They were clearly within the 100-meter mark. We do have a problem, and we're going to check with UCLA. With that, we'll turn it back over to you.
Well, unfortunately, a false start there, and we will get back to our first heat, or actually the second heat, in the Jessop-Whittier Cup, and take a look at it in a short order here. We also like to mention that you have an opportunity to get a DVD of any of the races that you choose to have here. Each one of them will be available on DVD shortly after the race is completed, about an hour. You can stop by the souvenir tent, which is just to the east of our large television screen, Supertron screen, and that area is where you can place your order to pick up a DVD. We'd like to acknowledge Camperland on the Bay. They have been absolutely wonderful to the San Diego Crew Classic for years and years now. San Diego's favorite campground, Camperland by the Bay, located on the shores of Mission Bay. It sends up a Cox Box shout out to today's competitors, and good luck to all of the teams in our 2010 edition of the San Diego Crew Classic. SeaWorld is proud to be a longtime neighbor and sponsor of the Crew Classic. Stop by and visit Mission Bay with black and white that you've never seen as being so colorful. SeaWorld San Diego. So are you tired of wearing glasses? There's the Laser Vision Center located at the Sharp Memorial Outpatient Pavilion, one of the most comprehensive laser centers in Southern California. They offer Intra LASIK, one of the latest options in laser vision correction. For more information, just give them a ring, 800-82-SHARP, or visit their website at sharp.com/OPP. Hey, win a Concept 2 ergonometer delivered right to your door. Win it. Raffle tickets are available at the Concept 2 CTS tent right here on the grounds of the 2010 Crew Classic. We are marking a little bit of time here while the Women's Collegiate Invitational first heat gets ready to go. And to this point, Charles, what have you seen so far? What have you felt? What have we seen to be excited about here at the San Diego Crew Classic?
Well, one of the things that struck me is that we got a lot of crews from the Northeast performing at this regatta, from Boston, from upstate New York, from Philadelphia, and they've had a hard winter and spring. And I must admit that I'm impressed at how well they've come here and have been race ready. That has surprised me. I was not expecting that. I thought that we might see some performances that were typical of your first hit out of the season, that might be a little underdone, but that's not the case at all. We've seen some very, very competitive racing at very competitive race rates from those crews from the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic.
Well, that's encouraging that these young people and their coaches have done such a wonderful job getting ready for this. We'll try to get you some official results in a little bit. Nothing has been so closely contested that the unofficial results would not stand. We're about ready to get started for this, the first heat of the Jessop-Whittier Cup. And let's move on down to the start line near SeaWorld and find out what's going on down there.
Hi, this is the start line again. We had a stoppage of the race. There was a claim of breakage by University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. The referees assessing the situation found that there was in fact no breakage. They brought all boats back and will allow UCLA to re-row. However, they haven't issued a warning, which is the same as a false start. They've been issued a warning for stopping the race without breakage. They are at the regatta's discretion being allowed to re-race in this race, and so we have all 4 boats back in the stake boats with alignment, and we are moments away from the start of the first heat of the Whittier Cup.
Better work. Check.
We still have a hand in the air as we're working for a point. One hand's up, one hand's down, and it goes as all boats try to get their starting position and their alignment. The aligner does have their flag in the air, so we do have alignment.
Attention! Go!
And there's the start of the first heat of the Jessop-Whittier Cup. All boats away from the stake boats, clean. We look early inside to Virginia. At the 100-meter mark, Virginia half a cabinets over UCLA, followed very closely early on by Washington State and Villanova. Virginia on the inside, maintaining about a half a cabinets on UCLA, but that is a very, very close race at this point at the 250-meter mark. They are only 2 seats over Washington State. Villanova, another 2 seats down. So all boats are very tightly bunched. Virginia, having coming off the start, has now settled into the race pace. It does look that they've lengthened and are very comfortable at this point at 34 strokes per minute. At the 400-meter mark, it is Virginia and UCLA, still bow ball to bow ball over Washington State, 2 seats back. Villanova, another 2 seats behind that. But it's a very comfortable position at this point. Remember, we have 2 heats of the Jessop-Whittier Cup, and as we approach the 500-meter mark, it will be UCLA and Virginia over Washington State by 2 seats, followed by Villanova, and that's the call.
We're on the water with the first of 2 heats for the Jessop-Whittier Cup. First run down our course for the Women's Collegiate Varsity Invitational, and lane assignments are the University of Virginia. They got off to a good start but have relinquished the lead. At this point, they are in 2nd spot. In lane number 2, Washington State University, currently stroking in lane 3. Check that, in 3rd spot. In lane 3, UCLA on the front of the pack right now, and in lane number 4, Villanova trailing.
This event with the 4 boats, limited hit out so far this season for the crews involved. The University of Virginia have had 1 race so far this season, beat Bucknell, which is an up-and-coming program on the East Coast, so that was a not insignificant scalp. Washington State, no recorded race results this season, so we'll see how they're going by the time they get to the finish line in this race. UCLA have beaten San Diego State and Loyola Marymount, and Villanova University out in lane 4. They've beaten Rollins, Duquesne, and Lehigh, but have lost to Drexel, who are also at this regatta, but in the Women's Cal Cup. So Villanova might find themselves a little outclassed by the other 3 crews in this race. It's the top 3 through to the final.
Continuing on our row for the 9th event of today's Crew Classic, the Women's Collegiate Varsity Invitational, Jessop-Whittier Cup. First run for this group down the race course, 2,000 meters, and it is along the shoreline. Virginia has caught themselves back up into the lead. They got off to an excellent start. Then looking to the middle, UCLA has moved into that 2nd position, with Washington State continuing on in 3rd, and Villanova on the outside. at 30, checked out on the outside in that 4th position. The crews have settled into what might be considered a mid-course stroke rating of around 34. And right now, it is Virginia on the lead, UCLA in 2nd, Washington State, and then Villanova.
Yes, Alan, this is going to be one of those typical races where the coxswains of the crews will be looking around to either side, checking their position in the race, working out